Okay, so today we're going to go over EMR. Okay. And to start off with, this is going to be your login screen to go into Care Assist. All right. You're going to be provided a username and password. And then once you put that information, so we're going to go into the website, okay? And we're going to click on Matrix Care SSO, so the black button. And then you're going to put in your username and password, and you're going to hit sign in. You're going to come to this menu here, and it's going to put your facility name here because that's your location. Any EMR list, so your specific work list that you may have been working, used to working on in your Generation 1. You can select those, and then you have your units too. Okay? And then once you select what you're working on, you're going to hit the start button in the bottom right. It's going to bring you into Care Assist where you're going to see all of your residents for the work list or unit that you selected. Okay? If you have specific residents that you're working on at that moment, you can narrow this down to only see those residents by clicking on My Residents. And clicking on Add Resident, it's going to give you a pop-up, and you just go ahead and select all the residents that apply to you. Okay, and you would click Done, and it would add the residents to your residents. And then going forward in the EMR, those are the only residents you're going to see. Okay, I'm going to hit Cancel and go back to All Residents. This search bar here, you can type by first name or last name or even room number, and as you do that, it starts narrowing down the search. Okay, you can also sort as well. At the top here, you're going to have Dashboard. When you click Dashboard, it brings you right into the Matrix Care site itself. Okay. And to go back, you would find the widget that says Go to Care Assist, and you would select the link. And it's going to bring you right back to Care Assist. You're going to have to choose your work setting again, but it brings you right back to Care Assist. You have Reports for EMR. Okay. And that's mainly for controlled substance tracking. You may not see resident tasks. That is just for POC, so your CNA assignments. So if you're just doing EMR, you're just going to see EMR here at the top. And EMR is where we're going to go into the documentation. On the left side here is a menu that's going to list all your residents in their own little tiles. But there's also some filters. You can filter your prescription, which is going to be the RX filter, by due and late and stats and follow-up, if you just want to see those. Otherwise, you just leave it as B to see everyone. Same thing with your treatments. Okay, so it's already telling me I have 10 due and 8 late. Okay, so you can filter that way. You can also sort again, and then find the resident too. So it's the same exact premise, so you can search by first, last name, and room number. You can hide this menu by clicking on the blue tab right here. Okay. So we click on a resident. Now the MAR is going to show up. And at the top, you're going to see this for every resident. They have the resident banner. And it's going to give you the photo, the name, the location, the attending physician, any advance directives. And then they have a couple of links here. You can view the resident's care plan by clicking on that link, and it's going to show you the resident's care plans. Resident profile. These are items that have been selected to be on the profile for you to have access to immediately. So any profile orders or alerts or face sheet notes, even the care plan approaches. Okay. You have your allergies, your diagnosis, diet you do not need to worry about, and your administration instructions. And your administration instructions are what's added on the Orders tab in the Matrix Care site itself. That's where they transmit to. So you can always see them at the top. Now down here, you're going to have 6 different tabs. You have your RX schedule now, and so it's going to show all the orders sent to the MAR that are scheduled right now. You have your scheduled later, so any medications that are scheduled in the future and are coming up, you could still administer them. if the resident's leaving and you want to give them the meds before they leave. So that would be where you would do that, in the Scheduled Later tab. And then you have your medications as needed. So your PRNs, they have their own tab where you can manage those as well. And then you have your treatments have their own tabs as well. And it's the same premise as medications. So the Scheduled Now, Schedule Later, and As Needed. So back to the RX Scheduled Now tab. Up top, you see that there's tasks required listed for this resident. So these are the ones that are currently listed in the orders below. When you see a red star, it means it's required to do. Last injection site, if clicked, you will see that NuMsLh was given in the arm on 11/6. So now when I give NuMsLh again, I know that I can rotate my site not in the arm. Okay? Obviously, it'd be more specific, like left arm, right arm, and what have you. But that is a nice little link to keep track of that information so you're not injecting the resident multiple times in the same place. Start scanning is for your barcode scanning. So you would select that button, start scanning your meds, and it will start prepping the meds for you. Okay. And then you have all prep given and all not given. I don't recommend bulk doing that. You want to go through each of the orders, make sure all the tasks are completed and all the orders are being managed appropriately. So below, when we see the orders, you see that it's red. Red means late. And it's also indicated on the tile on the left side and by an exclamation point as well. And that exclamation point shows at the top here as well. There's a couple other icons to be aware of. There's a blue clock, which means something is due. There's another icon that is a purple bell, and that will show on the tile as well as the EMAR tab up here. And that means a follow-up is due. So like a pain reliever, and have to follow up on the effectiveness. It would show up as a purple bell to indicate that follow-up has come up to be due. Now in the box, it is going to tell you late as well as the color. But I'm going to go over what's actually shown in the box. So in the box, we have the blue eye. And the blue eye gives a little bit more drug information on the particular drug you're on. Okay. And then you have the name of the drug, the strength, the route, right, and the form. You want to read all of this information because you may come across the amount to administer, as seen below here. This is the strength, but this is also my amount to administer. You have your frequency, and it's going to show you the time. Then you have this View History link. The View History link is a nice 14-day showing the last administrations. This will also show you the last given administration, the date and the time. Okay? Here we go. So for this example, it was scheduled on 11/6, it was scheduled for 7 a.m., and it was charted at exactly 11/6/9:18 a.m. Okay? So you can always keep track of the last administration for medications by clicking that View History link. Additionally, if you had special instructions or tasks, so for this example, the NuMsLh, the special instructions will appear. The amount to administer will appear. For this example, it's the sliding scale, so it shows all of the information. Your ICD-10 and 9 codes would appear here. And then your tasks, like enter vitals, and your med nodes, so you would have to do units in site. Okay, these have to be done before you can give. I can prep this medication, which is just getting the medication ready, but I can't give it. in the system, not until these have been completed. So when I go in to enter my vitals, I can enter in the blood sugar, or if the blood sugar was added to the chart already, it will show you the last time it was taken, and you can click associate the last blood sugar and hit save. Now that the blood sugar is entered, the system is already going to tell me how many units I'm going to be administering. Okay. So it already puts that in for you, so there's no mistake. Then you just have to indicate the site. And then click Done. So now when I prep, and you can always edit, go back and edit that information. But now I can prep, and that Given button is now available. And once I click Given, if it is late, you may run into a reason why it was late. And you have to put in a reason. So I charted late. Now give me a comment why. Okay? Now, if I go to one that's not late, and I hit Prep, do my task first, I'm going to do Prep and then Given, it is now green. But that does not mean you're done. You're saying that it's given, but you must hit this Complete button right here. Once you hit that Complete button, that house supplement is gone. And it falls off your chart. So there's no mistake of documenting twice. You won't see it again until it's next scheduling. Or if I did prep, if I did not given, I have to say why. Okay. For this scheduled later, if I'm going to give a medication early, I have to give a reason why I'm giving it early. Okay. So if I did that, I said resident will be out, and I'm done, and I hit Complete, and now that one is gone as well. And when it comes back up, it will show on the schedule later the last given as well. Same thing with PRNs. So PRNs, I don't have one up here. So I'll do pain scale, 5. And I prep this PRN. I have to give a reason why I'm giving this PRN. Okay, so they have pain. Now I'm done. And I'm going to hit Complete. PRNs do not fall off because they're PRNs, and you can give another one in the next hour or so. Okay? So it's not going to fall off, but it is going to give you the last given date and time, along with the med notes, if there are any, in the given reason. And this is the same exact thing as the treatments. They work the same exact way. Okay? And now you can see that purple bell has shown here because I just gave acetaminophen for pain, and now I must follow up later for the effectiveness. So right down here, follow up for as needed order. You would simply click follow up and put in a result. So was it effective or not? Yes, it was. And now I hit Complete. Now my follow-up is done, and there's no more purple bell. For corrections on administrations, these have to be done in Matrix Care itself. They cannot be done in Care Assist. Okay? So let's go where that needs to be done. So I'm going to go to Dashboard. It's going to bring me to Matrix Care. And I'm going to go to my resident, to my orders, and I'm going to scroll all the way down that orders page, and I'm going to do amend administrations. I'm going to search for my date range. I'm going to find my medication, and I'm going to click amend. And then I'm going to find the exact administration I'm looking to amend and select amend again. And I'm going to put in my reason why I'm amending. So it was a chart correction, it was missing or late charting, or other. If other, my note becomes required. Okay. And then you fill out the information as need be and save. And that's how you correct the documentation. So it has to be done in the Matrix Care site. So let me go back to Care Assist so we can go over controlled substances. I'm going to go back to my resident. Now for controlled substances, so say I had a controlled substance on here. Let's see if I do. Okay, I do not. If I were to administer, so actually let me put in one for this resident. So let me do once a day, and I'll do 2 p.m. Yep. I'm going to add another one just to show you what stat orders look like. Not the one, stat. Okay. Yep. Alrighty. Let's go back to Care Assist. Now it says stat up here. It's a good indication that something is due right now. So stats are going to appear first at the top in this bright yellow. Okay, you can't miss it. So I'm going to say stat on the left, stat at the top, and it's going to be bright yellow right at the top of the screen, so you don't even have to go looking for it. Okay. Additionally, let me find my other next. So if I did given for a controlled substance, I'm going to get this question right here. How much was administered? Let's say I said 2. Okay. What also is going to appear is how much was wasted. So something happened. You dropped the medication, or they refused, or what have you. Whatever the reason may be, if you didn't administer any, then you would put something in how much was wasted. So if I didn't do that, and I put that here, I then have to put in the reason why for the wastage. Resident refused. You dropped the medication. It was already prepped, but it was discontinued. Prepped for the wrong resident. Okay? And then at that point, you have to put in your password, and then another user has to put in their username and password to verify as a witness. And that's for all controlled substance orders. Now, to manage controlled substance, if we go to the EMAR tab, in controlled substance tracking, for this example, there's 2 different ways to do controlled substance tracking. There's blind count and there's not blind count. So this really depends on what your facility has chosen to do. So if you're not sure what that is, you want to reach out to your administrator or DON to ensure what count is happening. But you can also view it in here. So blind count would happen, if I can find one to show. Okay. Will not show you the amount or balance. That means the user is going to have to manually count the amount they have and enter that information incorrectly. Okay, so they can put in the amount received from the pharmacy, the amount they may have returned to the pharmacy, and the amount that may have been wasted. Okay, but it's not going to show you the amount that was put in. So that's what it means by blind count. Okay, and if you did that and did shift count, it then brings you to this screen. In this screen, for your shift count, you have to put in the amount left for each of the controlled substances. At which point, after you enter that information, you put in your password again, and then you have enter a username and password to verify the account above, so another witness, and hit submit. Now, if this is wrong, if one of these are wrong, and you're wrong 3 times in a row, you're going to be locked. Okay? And a care manager, whoever that has been designated to be at your facility, would have to come in, put in their information and override, and state that the count is correct. Okay? That's blind count. Not blind count would mean I would put in this information and the amounts would appear. And you would just have to verify that that amount is correct by your shift count. So you don't have to worry about being locked if it's wrong. You have the count in front of you. You're still doing the counting. It's just one last verification that needs to happen. And you can go into reports and do control substance count summary and pull that information here as well. Otherwise, your EMR reports are going to be in the Matrix Care site by hitting the dashboard and going to Facility tab and Reports. And you're going to scroll down until you see EMR on the left side, where you would run your administration compliance report to keep track that everything is in compliance for your facility. Administration count, your administration history, and PRNs have their own administration history reports, so that's viewing all the past documentations and any work list. Okay. The resident tab and reports has a report as well, and that's just the resident level administration history. So if you wanted to run a report for just this resident, Harold, of all their documentations, you would go to that resident level and hit the EMR report for resident administration history. Otherwise, for the whole house, you would go to the Facility tab and Reports. And that's it for EMR. If you have any questions, please reach out to your administrator or DON, or they can get in touch with me as well. My name is Emily, and thank you for listening.